and I blew. Oh, shit, time out. Like, I didn't actually time out, but I felt like saying time out. Oh, and the ref stopped it, checked my eye, and I mean, I've never, they say you don't blow your nose. That's like a thing that they tell you. What's going on? Cowboy here. We are back to, now we're in Confessions in the Gym. Talking about some old fights. The Tony Ferguson fight, to me, was always an interesting dynamic. Just leading up to the fight, Tony, one of those guys that wants to be mad at you and hate you and not be your friend. And I remember fight week, like trying to like shake his hand, and he was all mad, didn't want anything to do with me, and putting his sunglasses on at the press conference, and just trying to get in my head, or maybe in his own head, that he has to be mad at me to fight. Well, it turns out both of us, this was later in my career, so weight cut was hard. Weight cut for him was also hard. We ended up sharing the sauna and cutting weight together. There's kind of a cool iconic picture. It's like a black and white still where he's sitting and I'm sitting, and we're back to back to each other in the same dressing room, kind of like in between sauna sessions. We're both just kind of sitting there defeated, and it was fun. We got to go in there, you know. At first he started not want to say anything to me, but I just kept jabbing at him and hey, asking him questions. And finally, by the end of our suffering and misery together, we were conversating and joking around about the fight and other fights and fighters, and turned out I broke him down, so it was kind of interesting, kind of fun. And then next day, fight day, you know, wake up, go. I see him and his team on their way to the airport. Everything was cool. He wasn't the tough, hard, crazy guy anymore. He just, you know, shook my hand like good luck, like, yeah man, good luck to you. And I still remember getting ready for that fight, and I just could not get going. We normally play music in the back, and my Mikey Baldwin, my redheaded buddy who always comes to my fights, tries to pick a song depending on he just knows where my mind is or something. I don't know how he always does. He always tries to, all right, put this, or no music, or let's start sparring, or slapping me around, and I just could not, just grinding second, man. I couldn't find it, couldn't get going, couldn't get fired up, couldn't get. It's so crazy to me how the dynamics of your mind and brain work. How today, sitting here, I could be 100% ready to go out and fight. Tomorrow I could be also, but then fight day, sometimes you're like, oh my God, your arms are heavy, your feet are tired, and you just don't have the gumption to like want to go. You don't have like the killer instinct and the drive. It's so bizarre. And the fights are happening. They always have a TV in the back locker room and a big list on the wall. And later in my career, I was always on the second half of the pro card, you know, towards the end of the night. So we always knew we got there late. And usually if you're fighting at 8 or 9, you'd get in about 5-ish, because they want to drug test you. They want to get your hands wrapped. They want to make sure you're there and you're ready to go. You're hydrated. And that's another weird thing I don't know if a lot of you know. You have to get on a scale when you weigh in. You also have to get on a scale before you fight, because you can't put on too much weight. So there's a 20-pound allowance, and it doesn't. No one really over exceeds that, but it's not a thing people talk about. So basically, I can't go in there at 200 pounds, and Tony Ferguson go in there at 170 like it. So there's like a weight. There's a rule, unwritten rule, that you can't put more weight on. So I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but so you come in, go get your blood work done. To go take a urine test, and they call it random. I got it every single time, so I just knew going into the locker room, I need to be ready to pee, because I'm getting drug tested. I don't know if I was just the golden child. I never did anything funky, so they knew, hey, we need to hit 6 or 8 people. We at least know one of them's going to be good. So I don't know if that's how their mindset works, or if I just randomly got it because you're on the top echelon of the card. Sometimes blood and urine. Get your weight, then you get your hands wrapped, and you're just kind of back there. It's like a weird lull for 2 or 3 hours. And it's managing the emotional roller coaster while you're in this realm has got to be the trickiest part to manage, because you get there at 5, maybe you're jazzed up, you're ready to fight right then, and you can't get your endorphins running and your spike your adrenaline and get everything hyped up and ready to go, and you still have 3 hours to just sit there and crash. So what do you do? What games do you play? What mind games do you play? There's so many different recipes to the overall cake that you need to make sure you keep in line. And a lot of times I'll just lay there and you have 3 or 4 other camps in the same room as you. So, if you're in the blue corner, you're the red corner, you guys are separate. This guy's getting ready to fight, he's getting ready to fight. You kind of all share the same mat space, but you understand the timing. So I'm not going to go grab the mat because I still have 4 fights to go. And now you start warming up, they're warming up, they're talking, he just fought, he won, he came back in, or maybe they lost. Maybe every single person in your locker room lost. Wow. It shouldn't matter because it has nothing to do with you. But it does matter because now you're in the losing locker room. And that never affected me so bad, but I can see it affect the other people. And a lot of times whenever I was in a losing locker room, I would always come back victorious and it was cool. Or you're in a winning locker room and the energy's big. Guys come because you take you out to fight. They take you out to fight early because they stage you. Then they bring you back. The whole locker room claps. You know what I mean? You get like a standing ovation when you come back in when you're winning. So when the energy is good in that locker room, usually it's all vibing and all the camps are all working together and play. The Tony Ferguson was not. It was a very still, quiet, losing locker room. And there wasn't much energy. And I remember I spiked my adrenaline early and I got excited. And then I still just had an hour to wait. So getting re-amped up and ready to go. I work with sports psychologists trying to figure out how to fake it till you make it. And that's what I had to do. I had to pretend like I was excited to be there for the walk, excited to be there for the opening ceremonies and the, are you ready? Are you ready? Like, yeah, I'm ready. Not really ready, but I'm ready. They ring the bell. So we're there for the opening ceremonies. Are you ready? Are you ready? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready, but I'm not really ready. Go out there, touch gloves. I remember he didn't hit as hard as I thought he did. First punch he took, I was like, oh, okay, good, we got him. And we were just wrestling and battling and fighting and striking, and ended the first round. And I didn't feel like I got hit in my eye hard as I did, but I always blow my nose. It's just like something I do when I come out of the corner, like a nervous tick or a habit. And I remember this time I blew my left side nostril. Immediately my eye swole up and I was like, oh no. And I remember grabbing it and touching it and feeling like, oh, what, trying to push the air back down, like, oh no, this is bad, because they're like, are you ready? Are you ready? And ring the bell. So it's technically we're in live fight, right? It was one of those moments. Like I was like, oh shit, it happened to me. And it sucked. I think they called the fight right there, if I remember correctly. And it was he won, right? Yeah. TKO or I can't. Doctor stoppage. Doctor stoppage sucked. Crazy situation. I blew up. How the rest of the fight would have went, don't know. Only time could have told how we would have ended up. You know, I felt like the tides were starting to switch. He wasn't the excellent, crazy fighter that everyone thought he was, the boogeyman. But he beat me. He was better that day. He definitely cracked my eye, and I blew my nose and swelled my eye up, and shit. Now he's one more number in the lost column for Cowboy.